banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And I'd like to introduce the varsity team now. Trujillo, number 20. Devin Rubal, number 59. Gennaro Rodriguez, number 90. Diesel Lucero, number 66. John Duran. Jesse Duran, number 7. Zach Velasquez, number 10. Austin Dominguez, number 52. Austin Abertra, number 30. Joey Lucero, 88. Aiden Fletcher, 63. Head coach is Zach Dunbar. Assistant coaches Josh Lehman and Joe Garcia. And now, our home team, the Bulldogs. Number 32, Obed Orscosa Salas. Number 34, Francisco Herrera Horta. Number 60, Tristan Vincinetti. Number 30, Jason Gonzalez. Number 14, Rafael Garbajal Acosta. Number 24, Angel Ramos Monroy. Number 2, Jeremy Lakin. Number 35, Isaac Rodriguez. Number 44, Daniel Cruz. And number 10, Sebastian Cito Perez. Head coach is Daryl Schuler. Assistant coach is Keon We hope we have a wonderful game. Let's see a lot of great sportsmanship. Have a great game. Have fun. Thank you. Good luck.
Good afternoon and welcome to Homecoming at the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. A special program. for their team and not against the opponents or officials. We also ask you to show your support and appreciation for the many students and volunteers who will be taking part indirectly in today's game. Cheerleaders, student government, concessions volunteers, and all the students who have supported both their teams at home and away. These young people and volunteers play an integral part in both teams' success. The Trojans will receive the kickoff to begin the first half. For our fans and visitors who have not watched a reduced roster football game before, there are some differences from 11-person football. The field before you is 80 yards by 40 yards instead of 100 by 53. Line to gain is 15 yards instead of 10 for a first down, and the ball must be thrown to another player to go past the line of scrimmage.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another presentation by the Athletic Department and the Outreach Department of the Colorado School for the Deaf and the Blind, CSDB. Today we feature a high school football game between the Bulldogs of CSDB and the Trojans of Antonito, Colorado. This is Bill Beagle to bring you the play-by-play this afternoon. This is six-man football, 6 men on each side of the line of scrimmage. So there will be some differences that we'll discuss as the game goes along. For one thing, the field is different dimensions. It is 80 yards long, not 100, and 40 yards across instead of the customary 53 yards across in 11-man football. Antonito visiting, won the coin toss, and they will be receiving. CSDB dressed in red uniforms with white letters and white numbers, letters CSDB on the back, red pants with a white stripe down the side, and a fierce-looking white bulldog on either side of their red helmets. Kick fielded at the 10-yard line, up the far sideline goes Antonito, and knocked out of bounds right at midfield at the 40-yard line. Austin Abeda on the return for the Trojans. Antonito, a small school in southern Colorado, just inside Colorado near the New Mexico border. Population in the town of about 750 people. They bring an 11-man roster today. They are dressed in white uniforms with blue numbers and gold trim and gold helmets. Two backs set behind their quarterback. Handoff goes up the middle, across midfield, into Bulldog territory. He shakes off one tackler and is pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Jason Gonzalez making the defensive move for the Bulldogs.
The ball carrier. First down, Trojans.
Knocking John Duran, a senior from Antonito, out of bounds. Six-man football was designed to allow schools with small enrollments to still enjoy the game of football. Developed back in 1934 in Nebraska. It is first and goal for the Trojans of Antonito at the 6-yard line. snap and the pitch back again to Jason Gonzalez, and he goes in for the score. It is 6-0 Antonito. One difference in six-man football, you have to gain 15 yards to pick up a first down. You do have 4 downs to accomplish that. Because there are only 6 on each side, it is a much more wide open game, typically a pretty high scoring game, thus the need to get 15 yards for a first down. Another difference in six-man football, as you watch the lineup for the extra point, running the ball in or getting it on the ground is 1 point. Kicking it results in 2 points. Kicking for the Trojans is Zach Velasquez, a junior. Snap is down and up. The kick is no good, just wide to the left. It remains 6-0 Antonito. There are 10-minute quarters in six-man football, and we're only played about 20 seconds of the game. There are 23 schools in Colorado that play six-man football. If you have an enrollment of about 85 or less, and I believe Antonito's high school enrollment is about 60, then you can play six-man. Anything above an enrollment of 85 plays 8-man football, and above an enrollment of 125, they play 11-man football. It is a perfect October afternoon for football. Temperature hovering in the high 40s with abundant sunshine, a steady breeze, but no precipitation in the forecast. A nice cool afternoon. Heat should not be a factor for either team. The Bulldogs get ready to receive the kickoff following the Antonito touchdown. Back to receive for CSDB is Rafael Carvajal Acosta, one of the tri-captains of the Bulldogs. The other captains being Francisco Herrera Horta and Obed Orozco Salas. The kick is away, bounding along the ground, and it bounds all the way to the end zone and out. It'll be a touchback. The Bulldogs will take over out at their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Another difference in six-man football is that everybody on offense is an eligible receiver. The player taking the snap cannot advance the ball past the line of scrimmage himself. He has to hand off or pitch it, and then he becomes an eligible receiver. So it's a very wide open game. As you can imagine, with only 6 defenders, there is plenty of room to run out there. CSDB lines up with Daniel Cruz in the backfield to take the snap. Acosta takes the snap, pitches back to Cruz. He's going to run across the 20, breaks a couple of tackles, up toward midfield. He breaks away. He's lumbering down to the 20, and he's going to score. A flag on the play. Could be an illegal block on the Bulldogs. It could cost them a touchdown because Cruz rambled 80 yards with that pitch. But there was one block at the end, perhaps a hold. And Bulldogs coach Daryl Schuler is trying to argue his case, but I don't think he's going to win this one. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Bulldogs, negating a fine run by Cruz. Cruz is only a freshman, but he exhibited a lot of speed there. He's also the place kicker and punter for CSDB. This will move the football back to the 36-yard line of Antonito. Still a great gain by CSDB.
First down, CSDB.
Gain of 34 yards on that run by Cruz. He broke a couple of tackles to make it happen also.
From the 36.
Carvajal Acosta behind the center to take the snap. There's movement along the line, and Antonito is going to be called for offside. That should be a 5-yard freebie for CSDB.
Marker on the field.
This is the 7th game of the year for CSDB, their homecoming game. looking for their first victory on the season. Antonito comes in with 2 wins and 4 losses. They play in the Southwest Conference, which is a 7-team league in southern Colorado. Antonito is about 190 miles south of Colorado Springs. A 3-hour drive for these players and their fans. There's the pitch back to Cruz again. He's dragged down in the backfield. On the tackle for Antonito, Austin Abeda, resulting in a loss of about 4 yards for the Bulldogs. So it will be 2nd down and 19 to go. 9:18 to play in this first quarter. 6-0 Antonito. And Abeda was able to tear the ball away from Cruz. So Antonito takes over at midfield. A fumble by Antonito, but picking up his own fumble is Goliath Trujillo, a senior for Antonito. The Trojans will retain possession and actually pick up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and just over 13 yards to go for Antonito. So the first turnover of the game was caused by Abeda as he just ripped the ball out of Cruz's hands. 2nd down, pitch back to Abeda, and he is tackled, run out of bounds by the Bulldogs. That was Carvajal Acosta on the tackle for CSDB, bringing up a 3rd down for Antonito at the Bulldogs' 33-yard line.
3rd down, Trojans.
They need to gain around the 25-yard line for a 1st down. So I'll call it 3rd and 8. The snap and the pitch back to Abeda, running wide. 1 tackle missed. He's down the sideline, pushed out of bounds by Cruz around the 2-yard line. It looks like maybe the 1.
Austin Abeda, the ball carrier.
Jeremy Lashin
1st and goal, Trojans.
had a shot at him, but couldn't get him out of bounds. You can see the wide open play. A lot of field to operate on when you're only running against 6 defenders. Taking the snap. For the Trojans, and right up the middle, untouched.
Touchdown, Trojans.
That makes it 12-0 Antonito. That was John Duran on the score for Antonito. First kick attempt for the extra point on the first touchdown was no good by Velasquez of Antonito. He'll try again. Devin Ribal, the quarterback, to hold. The kick is up. It looked like it could have been partially blocked, and it was. Good play by CSDB to keep the score at 12-0 with just over 8 minutes to play in quarter number 1. CSDB will line up to receive the kick.
Antonito Trojans 12, CSDB Bulldogs 0.
Antonito's coach said they left their town at 7 o'clock this morning to make the 3-hour drive up to Colorado Springs. Two touchdowns for Antonito and almost one for CSDB that was called back because of a holding penalty on a run by Daniel Cruz that would have covered 60 yards. Teeing the ball up, Devin Ribal, who doubles as the quarterback for Antonito. This is the first year Antonito's had 6-man football, back after a year of not having the sport. Line drive kick goes into and out of the Bulldogs' end zone. So they once again will start from their 20-yard line, 1st and 15.
Kickoff is a touchback. 1st down, CSDB.
The coaches tell me that 15 yards is pretty realistic for a first down, given the wide open field that they play on. Bulldogs break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. You must have at least 3 players on the line of scrimmage in 6-man football. Split out wide to the right is Orozco Salas. Carvajal Acosta takes the pitch, gives it back to Cruz. He cuts back inside, hangs onto the football this time, breaks another tackle, and gets out near midfield to the 38-yard line of the Bulldogs, an 18-yard ramble.
Daniel Cruz, the ball carrier.
Let's make that the 34-yard line.
From the 34-yard line.
1st and 15 for the Bulldogs. Cruz, big, strong, and fast. Breaking more tackles on that run. Turning what might have been only a 5-yard gain into one of 15. Carvajal Acosta with the snap. Back to Cruz, who looks to pass. Throwing long downfield and caught there for another first down by the Bulldogs, and a flag on the play. We might have interference on Antonito. But the ball is at the 29-yard line of Antonito.
Pass complete to Obed Orozco Salas. Penalty marker on the field.
Orozco Salas making the catch for the Bulldogs on a fine pass from Daniel Cruz. Pass interference against Antonito is going to be declined. Pickup of 17 yards for CSDB. Official now walking the ball down to the 30-yard line is where they'll spot it. 1st and 15 for CSDB. Great pass from Cruz and a great catch by Orozco Salas. He was the only receiver out in that area. Single coverage by Antonito on the play. Cruz to take the snap this time, with Carvajal Acosta in the backfield. He takes the pitch, looking to run it, moves outside and picks up what could have been a loss, cuts it back in, still inbound, still on his feet, heading for the end zone. Carvajal Acosta cutting the Antonito lead in half. A fine 30-yard run. He looked to be trapped on the corner, but Carvajal Acosta turned it into a touchdown. 12-6 Antonito. Rafael Carvajal Acosta, a junior and one of the tri-captains for the Bulldogs. Ball is spotted around the 2-yard line for the extra point try. Score coming with 7:01 to play in the first quarter. Bulldogs will be attempting to get the extra point on the ground. Remember, it's 1 if you run it in, 2 if you kick it. Pitch back to Cruz, goes awry, and he falls on the loose ball. It'll remain 12-6 Antonito, but the Bulldogs have cut the lead in half in this, their homecoming game, 2017.
12, CSDB 6.
Great offensive series for the Bulldogs that time. Just 3 plays took them down the field for that touchdown. They moved 60 yards in 3 plays. Carvajal Acosta is being tended to on the sidelines. He was limping just a little bit on the sideline for the Bulldogs. Coach Daryl Schuler talking to him. Assistant coach for CSDB is Kiona Mackey, and their manager is Rigo Garcia Ortiz.
CSDB Bulldog Athletics.
Daniel Cruz will be kicking off for the Bulldogs, teeing the ball up at his own 30-yard line. Back deep to receive the kick is Austin Abeda of Antonito. Wind slightly at Cruz's back. He boots it away. Great end-over-end kick, traveling all the way to the end zone. This one won't be returned. They'll bring it out and spot it for Antonito to start their drive. With 7:01 to play in the first quarter, and the Trojans leading the Bulldogs 12-6. Nice turnout of a crowd here for this game. The sun-splashed field this afternoon. Even quite a few folks from Antonito made the trip up here this morning. Ball spotted at the 15-yard line. The Trojans will start from there. 1st and 10. Devin Rybal over center. Pitches back to Abeda. Around the left side he goes. Tackled out of bounds by Roscoe Salas after a pickup of about 27 yards.
First down, Trojans.
Ball now in Bulldog territory at their 38-yard line. 1st and 15 for Antonito. There are a handful of states that play six-man football. Most of the Colorado schools that play six-man are located in the eastern part of the state where the population is sparse. Handoff fake to Abeda. Around the other side, it's given to Goliath Trujillo, a senior for Antonito. He picks up about 7 yards. Let's call it 2nd and about 9, 8 or 9 for Antonito. Both teams moving at will up and down the field at this point. 3 men on the line for the Bulldogs on defense. Handoff faked. Passing is Devin Rybal, and a great defensive play by the Bulldogs. Jeremy Lashin right there to stop Abeda. No gain on the play, possibly a slight loss of maybe a half a yard. 3rd and 9 for Antonito. Coming up on 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Rybal takes the snap, pitches back to Abeda. He breaks one tackle. He's loose. Cruz giving chase, can't quite get him, and he goes in for the score. 38-yard run for Antonito to make it 18-6. Antonito. Some long runs here this afternoon. 2nd touchdown for Austin Abeda, a junior for the Trojans of Antonito. They'll try to place kick it again for 2 points. It's up and blocked again. Twice in a row, the Bulldogs have blocked it. Herrera Orta, one of the other captains, blocking the kick on a great defensive play for the Bulldogs.
CSDB Bulldogs 6.
Five officials on the field today for today's game. Referee in the white hat. Ball will be placed at the 30-yard line of Antonito for the kickoff. Devin Rybal, their kicker. He's a senior at Antonito. Bulldogs break their huddle and head back out on the field. Jeremy Lashin Daniel Cruz and Herrera Orta along the front line. Back deep is Carvajal Acosta. The ball bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Bulldogs will start at their own 15, 1st and 15, trailing now 18-6. Carvajal Acosta back on the field. So his leg issue doesn't seem to be a serious problem. He was limping slightly along the sideline. Daniel Cruz to take the snap. Pitches back to Carvajal Acosta. Runs left, cuts back in now, finds a hole. Up the middle he goes, still on his feet. Has the ball taken away by Antonito. John Duran ripping the ball out of Acosta's hands, negating what would have been a nice 33-yard run, 23-yard run by Carvajal Acosta. Antonito proving they're adept at stripping the ball from Bulldog runners, as that's the second takeaway for the Trojans this afternoon. And they take over just on the Bulldog side of midfield at the 39 of CSDB. Ribal takes the snap, goes back to pass, looking for a receiver in trouble, finally unloads it. And Antonito's inside the 30, inside the 20, all the way to the end zone. A flag on the play. That was Jesse Duran.
Penalty marker on the play.
Down about the 1 yard line, there's going to be a holding penalty on Antonito, I believe. That was nearly a touchdown run by Duran as he took the pass from Ribal. He was tackled around the 2, but this ball's coming back partway up the field. There was a hold right at the end of the play by an Antonito player. Regardless, Antonito's going to have a first down deep in Bulldog territory at the CSDB 15-yard line. First and goal to go for Antonito. Jesse Duran to snap the ball. The center caught that last pass. Here's the handoff, and down to the 5, maybe 6-yard line is Goliath Trujillo. We'll remind you again that every player on offense is an eligible receiver. So the long pass play actually went to the guy who snapped the football, the center. It'll be second down and goal from about the 6-yard line for Antonito. 4.5 to play in the first quarter. 18-6. Trojans over the Bulldogs. Ribal to take the snap. Back to pass. Looking toward the end zone. Can't find anybody yet. Now throws overthrowing. It'll be third and goal as he was looking for Zach Velasquez on that play.
Pass to Zach Velasquez is incomplete. Third down and goal for the Trojans.
If the Bulldogs can hold here, they'll set up a fourth down situation. Bringing up a decision for Coach Zach Duran and his Antonito Trojans. Ball pitches back to Abeda. He cuts back inside and is stopped at the 1-yard line. Team tackling there by Herrera Orta.
Fourth down and goal from the 2.
And Jason Gonzalez in on that play as well. Gang tackling. Be 4th and goal. Trojans only need a yard, so they're not going to attempt a field goal. They'll try to punch it in for the touchdown. Remember, the person that takes the snap cannot advance the ball past the line of scrimmage. He has to hand off. So Rebel gives it to the first man through for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Antonito Trojans.
That was John Duran on the score for Antonito, making it 24-6 Trojans over the Bulldogs. Antonito lining up to kick for the 2 extra points. You get 2 for a kick in 6-man football. They have failed on all 3 previous attempts. This one is up, and this time it's good. 25-6 for the Trojans. So after 2 straight blocked extra point attempts on the kick, that time Velasquez gets it through.
With 2:57 remaining in the quarter.
19-point deficit for CSDB. Turnovers have hurt the Bulldogs today, losing 2 fumbles, or strips actually, as balls were taken out of the runner's hands. Coach Gano Maki is setting up the kickoff return with his Bulldog players. Antonito kicking off right to left at the Bulldogs field, going north to south. Back deep for the Bulldogs, Daniel Cruz standing around his own 5-yard line. Here's the kick by Rybel. And it bounds into the end zone. Cruz lets it go. CSDB will start from their own 15-yard line. 1st and 15.
First down, CSDB.
Trailing 25-6, just under 3 minutes to play in period number 1. This is homecoming weekend for CSDB. Alums in the stands. Great turnout on this sunny, mildly cool day. Cruz in the background. Orozco Carbajal Acosta takes the snap, pitches back to Cruz, and he's out to about the 21, 22-yard line. Gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs. They huddle up back around their 15. Antonito brought a roster of 11 players today. 12 on the roster for Coach Daryl Schuler's CSDB Bulldogs. They spread out wide with Jeremy Lechen to the near side, near the Bulldogs sideline. On the far side of the field, Herrera Orta. A whistle and offside on Antonito. The Trojans a little anxious on that play, jumping offside. 5 yards for CSDB.
2nd down and 5.
That'll make it about 2nd and 5. Less yards to pick up. Really spread offense for the Bulldogs. Pitch back to Daniel Cruz. Good block by Carbala Acosta. But making a good play for the Trojans was Zach Velasquez, who came up and stopped Cruz for maybe a loss of a yard. 3rd and about 6 for CSDB. Tristan Vincenti comes in for CSDB. And the red-clad Bulldogs break the huddle. Tighter formation this time. 3 men on the line. Whistle at the snap. Roscoe Salas taking the snap. CSDB called timeout.
CSDB.
Coaches want to discuss something with the CSDB players. I think there was a little miscommunication on that particular play. 25-6 Antonito with 1:02 to play in the first quarter. It'll be 3rd down and a long 6 for CSDB when play resumes. The ball at their 25-yard line. So they're going to need about the 31 for a first down. Roscoe Salas to take the snap. Pitches back to Carvajal Acosta, trying to get up the middle. Gets away from a beta. Picks up the first down. Down the far sideline, and Bulldogs is one of the Antonito players out of bounds. They should spot it just inside the 35-yard line at about the 33 of Antonito. First down, Bulldogs.
Acosta, the ball carrier. Result of the play, first down, CSDB.
A lot of patience there by Carvajal Acosta as he waited for an opening and then cut back to the outside to pick up the first down. Clock running at 45 seconds to play in the first quarter.
1st and 15 from the 34.
Carvajal Acosta takes the snap and pitches back. Breaking a tackle. Roscoe Salas finally knocked out of bounds.
Roscoe Salas, the ball carrier.
Another first down for CSDB.
First down, CSDB.
At the 15-yard line of Antonito as the Bulldogs continue to march. Clock stops with the out-of-bounds play at 27 seconds. Touchdown here would be big for the Bulldogs as they try to climb back from a 19-point deficit. Jeremy Lashin in the backfield now. Carvajal Acosta pitches to him, and he is wrapped up by Zach Velasquez.
Robert Reynolds, the ball carrier.
Make that Austin Abeda who came up on the tackle, closing quickly to stymie that run. First quarter just about to run out. Antonito leads 25-6. As the quarter comes to an end, we'll have to go to the other end of the field.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Ball will be spotted at the 21-yard line of Antonito.
Trojans, 25.
And it'll be second down for the Bulldogs. We'll put a fresh 10 minutes on the board. As that's what they play in six-man football, 10-minute quarters. 4 touchdowns by Antonito in the first quarter, converting only once on the extra point try. And 1 touchdown by the CSDB Bulldogs.
Visit the tables on the east side of the field to support the organizations and businesses as they get out information about their services.
Assistant coach Keona Mackey's
Support the organizations and businesses that
imploring the Bulldogs to punch this one in for a score. Second down for CSDB at the 21-yard line of Antonito. LeShin takes the handoff, pitches back to Cruz. Cuts it up the right sideline and is knocked down after a gain of about 3, bringing up 3rd down for CSDB.
3rd and goal.
3rd down and goal. Remember, you need 15 yards for a 1st down, and the ball had been at the 15 of Antonito before a loss to the Bulldogs. So this is 3rd and goal. They have 2 downs to get into the end zone. The ball right now at the 18-yard line of Antonito. Roscoe Salas to take the snap. Pitches back to Cruz, who wants to throw, and it's almost intercepted by Austin Abeda of Antonito. It was intended for Isaac Rodriguez, but it was off the mark just a little bit. Cruz had a great completion early in the 1st quarter. He has a good arm. He's a little off target with that one. But no harm done, no interception. Kicking tee comes out. Cruz will attempt a long field goal. On 4th down and goal, Coach Darryl Schuler elects to go for the field goal. Ball is going to be placed at the 8-yard line of Antonito. Carbajal Acosta will do the holding for Daniel Cruz. The kick will come from about the 13-yard line, making this a 23-yard attempt. There's the snap, ball is down, kick is up and blocked as Antonito poured right through the line that time to stymie that scoring attempt. Score remains Antonito 25 and CSDB 6.
CSDB Bulldogs 6, Antonito Trojans 25.
Antonito takes over now as we're waiting to see where the officials spot the football. It'll be spotted at the 21, I believe. 1st and 15 for Antonito with their 19-point lead. Ball at the 22-yard line.
Field goal, Antonito Trojans take over. 1st down, Antonito.
Devin Rybal to take the snap for Antonito. Pitches back to Abeda, and he is tackled for no gain. Great tackle there by Roscoe Salas,
2nd down, Antonito.
the senior tri-captain for CSDB. Closed nicely on that play and held Antonito to no gain. 2nd and 15 from the Trojans 22. 9:20 to play in the 1st half. Handoff straight up the middle, a lot of room to run. Can LeShin catch him? He's going to have to dive and make a tackle. No, going in for the score. Again, John Duran. Big guy rumbling, 78 yards for the touchdown to make it 31-6, Antonito. We told you at the beginning of the game, a lot of these 6-man games have very high scores because of the room to run out there. He covered that 78 yards in about 15 seconds. As the clock shows 7:59 to play in the 2nd quarter. Rybal to try the extra point. This one is up and good.
Extra point kick is good.
And Antonito now leads 32-6.
With 7:59 remaining in the second quarter, CSDB Bulldogs 6, Antonito Trojans.
Once Duran broke through the line, he just outran Jeremy Lashin of CSDB. He had a lot of open field in front of him. The Bulldogs are now moving north to south as Antonito comes on for the kickoff. Devin Rybell to tee the ball up at his own 30-yard line. Carvajal Acosta going back deep for CSDB. Up in front of him is Orozco Salas and Daniel Cruz. They're standing just inside the 20-yard line at about the 18. Carvajal Acosta is back at the 10. Rybell has been booting most of these kickoffs into the end zone for touchbacks. This one spirals down the field, fielded by Cruz at the 20, picks it up, bangs into one Antonito player, still going strong right up the middle of the field. He's got a chance to go all the way, giving chase. One of the Antonito players tries to pull him down and succeeds at the 3-yard line. That's about a 57-yard return for the Bulldogs. Great determination by Daniel Cruz, and exactly what the Bulldogs needed at this point, down by 4 scores. He was not to be denied on that kick return. It'll be 1st and goal to go for the Bulldogs. Ball being placed at the 5-yard line. Great run by Daniel Cruz. An inspired run. And he's going to take the snap on this 1st and goal from Herrera Orta. Hands the ball off to Orozco Salas, who bangs his way down toward the goal line, just short. 2nd and goal.
And Orozco Salas, the ball carrier.
And it looks like they placed the ball right about the 1-yard line. Just a yard for an important score here for the Bulldogs. Big morale boost, that kickoff return by Daniel Cruz. Tight formation for CSDB here. Daniel Cruz to take the handoff. Costa next to him. Cruz throws, and it's a touchdown to Jeremy Lashin.
Pass complete to Jeremy Lashin for a CSDB touchdown.
The CSDB Bulldogs striking quickly here in the second quarter after a 57-yard kickoff return by Daniel Cruz. Pass from Cruz to Lashin for the touchdown. Great play call. Antonito looked like they were expecting a run from just a yard out, and Lashin was all by himself. Easy toss from Cruz to Lashin. 34-12. Antonito. Cruz to attempt the soccer-style extra point. Oh, and somebody moved along the line. Devin Rybell jumped offside for Antonito. And they'll move the ball half the distance to the goal, making it a slightly shorter kick for Daniel Cruz. If he makes it, it'll be 34-14, Antonito. 2 points for a kick on the extra point try in 6-man football. Snap is down, kick is up, and blocked by Rybell. Carvajal Acosta had a little trouble handling the snap, and as he got it down, Rybell was right there at Daniel Cruz's face. I think the kick only traveled about a foot. But a big, important score for CSDB right there. Real morale booster. It only took them 2 plays after the big kickoff return by Cruz. And it's 34-12, Antonito. Bulldogs getting some liquid along the sideline. Even though it is a cool day with a temperature in the high 40s, plenty of sunshine here. Important to stay hydrated for these players. Steady breeze blowing all game out of the northwest, it appears. Daniel Cruz tees the ball up at his own 30-yard line. Kicking away to Antonito. Austin Abeda back deep for the Trojans. Zach Velasquez up around the 20. Cruz gets his foot into it. Nice end over end kick all the way to the end zone. That won't be returned. They'll spot it at the 15 of Antonito. 1st and 15 for the Trojans with a 34-12 lead. Big defensive series here for CSDB to see if they can stop the Trojans and get the ball back. So far, both teams running at will pretty much. Some big backs out there today. Daniel Cruz, one of them for CSDB. John Duran has a few scores for Antonito. Devin Rybal to take the snap. Back to pass, looking long, throwing way downfield. Duran is there, but so was the CSDB Bulldog. Jeremy Lashin on the defense. Pass is incomplete.
Duran is incomplete. 2nd and 15, Trojans.
Rybal threw that ball about 35-40 yards in the air. So it'll be 2nd and 15. Longest pass attempt of the day by either team. Antonito attempting to stretch out the field on that last play. Rybal has Duran and Abeda behind him. Hands off to Abeda. Coming toward the Bulldog sideline. Cuts it back in, but a great tackle there by Herrera Orta. Francisco Herrera Orta, senior for CSDB, on the tackle. Limiting that gain by Antonito to about 9 or 10 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 5 at the 25 for Antonito. Big play here for the Bulldogs. If they can stop Antonito, they would force a punt. Rybal to take the snap. Hands off. Flag on the play. Coming to the near sideline was Goliath Trujillo.
Goliath Trujillo is the ball carrier. Penalty flag on the play.
Waiting for the official signal on the penalty. I think CSDB is going to decline it. It is a holding penalty, I believe, against Antonito. If it's declined, it'll bring up a 4th down. And that's exactly what Coach Daryl Schuler of CSDB decides to do. He's declining the penalty. It'll be 4th and about 5 for Antonito. But it doesn't appear as though the Trojans are going to punt. They're going to go for it. Big stand here for CSDB. They'll have great field position if they can hold the Trojans right here. 4th and 5 from the 26. Hand up to Duran, right up the middle. He has the 1st down, holding the football a little precariously, but he's dragged down by Isaac Rodriguez in Bulldog, well, right at the midfield mark at the 40-yard line. They gave it to the big guy, John Duran, senior for Antonito, and he just powered his way. He needed 5 yards and he got about 10 up to the 40. 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs with 4:45 to play in the first half. They lead it 34-12. Rybal fakes one hand up, pitches to Abeda around the far side. He's got plenty of room. Down the far sideline he goes, in for the touchdown. 40-12 Antonito. A lot of speed once Abeda got to the corner that time. He's a junior for the Trojans. So they come right back and answer that score. Good defensive stand by CSDB that time. They forced Antonito into a 4th down decision, and with that big back John Duran, the Trojans were able to pick up the 1st down. Devin Wright Bell's waiting for his holder on the place kick. He's out there ready to kick and didn't have a holder. There is no holder. He's going to go for it on the ground. Now he drop kicks it. Throwback to the good old days of football. And it just kind of tumbles wide and low to the left. Never came near the goalpost. But they maintain a 40-12 lead. The old-fashioned drop kick as Rival dropped the ball on the ground and as it bounced up. I don't think he got the point of it exactly on the ground to get a good bounce back. He shanked it like a bad golf shot that time. 4:32 to play in the 2nd period. Let's see if the Bulldogs can get another good kick return. Last time they received a kick, Daniel Cruz returned it 57 yards to set up their 2nd score. Cruz passing to Jeremy Lashin for the Bulldogs' 2nd touchdown. They're entertaining a homecoming crowd today that is pretty well filled much of the home side of the stands here on the east side of the Bulldogs field. Carvajal Acosta will be back deep around his own 10-yard line. Cruz and Orozco Salas up around the 20. End over end kick taken by Carvajal Acosta at the 5. Out to the 20. He has some room to go. Cuts it back inside. Rival misses him. Makes another player miss. And he's going to be hauled down from behind. And there again, Zach Velasquez trying to yank the ball loose. The Trojans very good at stripping the football, but Carvajal Acosta did a great job of hanging on that time for the Bulldogs. Big kickoff return.
1st down, CSDB Bulldogs.
Into Trojan territory. They're going to spot it all the way down to the 37-yard line of Antonito.
1st and 15.
That was about a 33-yard return by Carvajal Acosta. Great return, great run. 1st and 15 Bulldogs, 4:18 to play in the 2nd quarter. Split to the near side is Isaac Rodriguez. Carvajal Acosta takes the pitch back to Daniel Cruz. He drops the football, now picks it up and will run with it. He's got some room, cuts it back inside, still on his feet inside the 30, and finally brought down at the 25-yard line. Good run by Daniel Cruz. Pickup of 12 yards, should be about 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 from the 25.
Bulldogs operating from a spread offense. Herrera Orta to snap the ball to Carvajal Acosta. They have 3 receivers split to the left side. Back to Daniel Cruz. He's going to run the football. Good deception by the Bulldogs here. He cuts it back inside past John Duran, breaks Duran's tackle, and is double teamed and brought down for the 1st down at around the 15-yard line of Antonito. Great play designed by the Bulldogs there. 3 receivers stacked to the left side toward their own sideline, and Cruz took the pitch from Carvajal Acosta and went right instead, where he had plenty of room to run. Picking up about 10 yards for the 1st down. It'll be 1st down and goal to go for the Bulldogs with 3:25 to play in the 2nd quarter. And Antonito calling timeout.
Correction, timeout CSDB.
Score here before halftime. Cruz crucial for the Bulldogs. They break their huddle with their coaches, come out to the 15, where 4 of the 5 officials are huddled right now. Sun continues to beam down on the Bulldogs field here. Perfect autumn afternoon. 3 receivers again to the left side, with Herrera Orta to snap the football to Carvajal Acosta, back to Daniel Cruz. He's running in the backfield, but tackled by Zach Velasquez. Velasquez jetted right into the backfield that time, with 3 of the 6 players on the Bulldogs split wide to the left. There wasn't a lot of blocking for Cruz that time. Loss of a couple of yards on the play. 2nd down and goal. Now the ball at the 17-yard line. Herrera Orta to do the snapping again. Daniel Cruz will take the snap this time. Signaling to the 2 backs behind him. That's Orozco Salas taking the pitch, fumbles the football, and Jeremy Lechen alertly falls on it, I believe. So the Bulldogs will retain possession, but they lose about 5 more yards on that play, or 6 more yards. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 22-yard line of Antonito.
After the loss on the play, 3rd and goal from the 22 for CSDB.
Still within striking distance for the Bulldogs with 2:05 to play in the first half. Antonito on top, 40-12. Daniel Cruz to take the snap. Fakes a pitch back, wants to pass, still looking to pass, still looking. Now lofts it toward the end zone, up high. Jeremy Lechen goes for it. There's a flag on the play. Lechen and Carvajal Acosta were both there. It was up for grabs. They could have had it, but there was a lot of congestion down there. A couple of Antonito players bumping into them as well. We'll see if there's pass interference on Antonito here. That would bring up a 3rd and goal from about the 5-yard line, I believe. Here's the signal from the referee. Pass interference on CSDB. And Antonito elects to accept that call, which will move the Bulldogs 15 yards back, making it a very long 3rd and goal now. The ball placed at the 38-yard line, with 1:47 to play in the first half. Big penalty for CSDB there. One of those calls that might have gone either way. There was a lot of contact down near the goal line after Cruz lofted that pass from about the 25-yard line. Pretty good pass, pretty good effort by the Bulldogs. But with all the pushing and shoving going on near the goal line, the call went against CSDB. They can pick up a big chunk here. Going for it on 4th and goal may not be much of a problem. CSDB has called timeout, designing a play for this long 3rd down. Momentum pretty even right now. That 2nd touchdown that CSDB got fired the Bulldogs up somewhat. From the 38 of Antonito, Orozco Salas comes wide to the near side. Isaac Rodriguez is split out wide to the right. Carvajal Acosta will take the snap with Daniel Cruz behind him. Pitches back to Cruz. Cruz is going to run it. He's tackled by Zach Velasquez after a gain of only about 3 yards. He tried to break that tackle and drag Velasquez down the field. But Velasquez, a junior, one of the smaller players on the Antonito Trojans, does a great job at getting to the football and stopping the run. He's been a thorn in the Bulldogs' side all afternoon. Clock running at 1:17 to play in the first half. 40-12, Antonito on top. But the Bulldogs will receive the second half kickoff. Daniel Cruz back to punt. High snap. He pulls it down, gets a good kick away. End over end. This one's not going to be returned. It goes out of bounds around the 14-yard line. The officials triangulating. And they're going to place it at just over the 20-yard line. Pretty good kick by Daniel Cruz, preventing any return by Antonito. Clock stopped at 1:01, and the Trojans will begin operating from their own 20-yard line, 1st and 15. Really important for the Bulldogs to make a stand here and not give up another score before halftime. Keep the game within reach. Our ball has two players set behind him as he takes the snap, retreats to pass, looking deep again, lofts it downfield for John Duran. He's got it at the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs, breaks a tackle and will go in easily for the score to make it 46-12, Antonito. Jeremy Lashin was there for the Bulldogs, had a hand on Duran, but Duran is big and strong, one of the bigger players on the Antonito Trojans. That play covered 60 yards for the score. See what Antonito elects to do on the extra point try. Last time, Devin Rybell attempted a drop kick. He's back there by himself to take the snap this time. Let's see if he tries it again. There's the snap. He drops, kicks it again. This one's a little better kick, but it's not going to make it to the goal post. And the score remains Antonito 46, CSDB 12, with just under 50 seconds to play in the first half. Still time for the Bulldogs if they can get a big return on this kick. Rybell's kickoffs have not been going as far here in the second quarter as he's kicking more into the wind than he did in the first quarter. CSDB in their red uniforms with white numbers, red helmets, red pants, white stripe down the side. And white Bulldogs on either side of the helmet. Helmets just gleaming under this October sunshine. Trojans of Antonito with gold helmets.
Your CSDB Bulldogs swept the New Mexico School for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Going back deep again for the Bulldogs. Carvajal Acosta standing at his 10. Daniel Cruz and Orozco Salas, Obed Orozco Salas up around the 20. Rybell approaches the football, gets his foot into it, kicks a spiraling one right in the chest of Cruz. He picks it up after it bounces off. He's out to the 25, running right. He's over the 30, still on his feet, across midfield and down the far sideline. Bowls over the kicker, Rybell, and is finally brought down at about the 25 of Antonito with 35.7 seconds to go in the first half. Exactly what the Bulldogs needed. Big return by Daniel Cruz. That was a line drive kick spiraling right into the chest of Cruz. It bounced off his chest pads. I don't know if the sun was in his eyes a little bit or not, but he was able to pick the ball up. He got a good bounce on it. Then brought it back about 35 yards. Ball, nose of the football just touching the 25-yard line of Antonito. 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs. See if they're going to throw here. Cruz will take the snap with Carvajal Acosta behind him. Pitch goes to Acosta. He eludes one tackler, heading for the sideline. He breaks, shot at the end zone, pushed out of bounds. Finally by Goliath Trujillo. Big pickup, and more importantly, it stops the clock with 29.7 seconds to play. That play only took 6 seconds. First and goal to go for the Bulldogs. Big gain there by Carvajal Acosta. About a 19-yard run down to the 6-yard line. Daniel Cruz to take the snap once again. Carvajal Acosta behind him. Pitch back to Carvajal Acosta. He cuts it up the middle. Going left, he's going to score the touchdown. Big score for the Bulldogs right there. 46-18, and what a big score that is for CSDB. That showed a lot of guts right there, coming back and getting a score with less than a minute to play in the first half. Not wilting under the pressure from Antonito and the touchdown they scored. The Bulldogs come back and score on just 2 plays after the kickoff. Carvajal Acosta going in from 6 yards out. He hesitated in the backfield, let the tackler go by him, cut it back left where he had plenty of room, and scored easily from 6 yards out. 46-18 with the extra point try coming. But a big, big score there for CSDB, especially considering they will be receiving the second half kickoff. They'll go on offense right away to start the third quarter. Cruz takes the snap, fakes a handoff, tries to pass. It's completed and in for the score goes Orozco Salas. Obed Orozco Salas taking the pass from Daniel Cruz. Great play by the Bulldogs. Makes it 46-19 with 23 seconds to go.
23 seconds to go
in the first half.
Your CSDB Trojans, or CSDB Bulldogs 20. And the Trojans 46.
Now it's equally important that the Bulldogs don't give up a big kick return here to the Trojans. Maintain the momentum that CSDB has picked up. 66 points combined by both teams in the first half already. Daniel Cruz to do the kicking off for the Bulldogs. Sets his orange tee down at the 30-yard line. Places the nose of the football into it. Walks backward about 8 yards. He's a soccer-style kicker. He'll put his right foot into it with 23 seconds to play here in the second quarter. The boot by Cruz. End over end. Line drive going out of bounds at the 15 and a flag because it went out of bounds before getting to the end zone. So it'll be a penalty on the Bulldogs. And the officials retrieving the football. They're going to place it back in Bulldog territory. It's going to be a re-kick this time from the 25-yard line. Just a 5-yard penalty against CSDB. So Daniel Cruz will tee it up again. No time ran off the clock. Still 23 seconds to go. Daniel Cruz with his 8-yard approach. Does one stutter step and kicks it away. Spiraling again. It's going to go out of bounds again. Around the 25. It'll be another 5-yard penalty against the Bulldogs. Getting some encouragement from Isaac Rodriguez. Shakes Daniel Cruz's hand, says give it one more try. So this will back the ball up to the 20-yard line for the kickoff. Antonito should have good field position as a result of this. Last 2 kicks have gone to the left, kind of spiraling and spinning out of bounds. Cruz setting the ball firmly into the kicking tee, back at his own 20. Austin Abeda's back at about the 10-yard line deep for Antonito. There's a good end-over kick way over Abeda's head. It's going to bound into Antonito's end zone. Great kick by Daniel Cruz. That means the Trojans will have to start at their own 15-yard line. So they did not get good field position on it. Third time's a charm, you might say, after 2 out-of-bounds kicks. And to be fair, the wind kind of blowing across the field from the northwest may have had some effect on Cruz's first 2 attempts. That was a beauty of a kickoff there. And the Trojans have it deep in their own territory at their own 15-yard line with 23 seconds to play in the first half. CSDB needs to stop here without giving up another score. Devin Rybel to take the snap for Antonito. Goes back to pass. Under pressure, gets it away to Jesse Duran, who is dragged down after a gain of about 8 yards. Clock still running, 10 seconds to play. I don't think Antonito is going to be able to get another playoff. They hurry to the line. 3 seconds. They may get it off. Here's the snap. Rybel looking again to pass, throws it into the ground, short of John Duran, and the first half comes to an end with a score Antonito 46 and the CSDB Bulldogs 19. Momentum on CSDB's side, and they will receive the second half kickoff. We'll be back with that action.